Does your business need exposure? Are you having a party? Is your single or record dropping soon? How will you get the word out? Let ImyLeeRadio.com be your source. Advertise on this station and have listeners from your state and the surrounding areas hear what's up. Pre-tape a 45-second MP3 formatted commercial detailing your event and submit it 2 weeks prior to your event date. A member of our staff will contact you with further details so your commercial can be played during a Friday airing of ImyLeeRadio.com. It's that simple. Please submit your commercials and contact information to ImyLeeRadio@gmail.com. That's IMELITE radio@gmail.com.
Hey, it's your girl, Classy Jazzy. You know what day it is. The Chronicles, Classy Jazzy Show. Hashtag The Chronicles. Welcome to another night of some fabulous information, awareness, and some topics and trending topics, hot controversy. So again, thank you very much for tuning in again tonight on the Classy Jazzy Show. And I thank each one of you listeners to tuning in tonight. So there has been I want to start off with this. There has been a viral video. There is a viral video going around regarding a Texas police officer in Texas that he was called, or not him, but there was a pool party, and the cops were called to the scene. Now, with that being said, when the cop came, and you can log in online on Facebook, and you can see this, and it's a viral video. It's an edited version, and but there is an extended version that's out there. The cops were called to the scene. This particular cop, Mr. Case Bolt is his name, was called on the scene. He's in the beginning of the video, he was doing some somersaults. Then later on, he was kind of in the middle of the street, calling obscenities and talking down to the pedestrians that's in the area. He was doing just the most of it, doing the most of interrogation with the kids, with the teenagers, for pretty much overpopulation or noise, and disturbing the peace or whatnot. That hasn't been determined yet, but from the video, it just seems like it was a lot of kids that were there. It was overwhelming. Also, when I did my research, the girl that was throwing the pool party, she actually had some words with one of the neighbors who called the police before she had some words before she had called the police. She was a Caucasian a neighbor, and just saying that you go back to your Section 8 house, and why are these people here, and so forth. So anywho, the cops come on the scene, right? This is a case, if you guys have not heard of this is happening in Texas, okay? If you're just tuning in, this happened in Texas. It's a viral video going around. It's a Texas officer, and he started to point his gun and held even a black teenager down in her bathing suit, and he barreled his knees into her back for nothing. No one had done anything. No one has said anything to make him act this way, but he definitely acted out of character, and some may even say he acted out of fear. I would like for you guys to call in later on tonight, because this was just kind of brought up to me speaking about it, because I saw the video, and I definitely wanted to share what's going on, because it's not right. Yesterday there was a rally that happened, and there was not a raid, but a rally that happened in Texas, and hundreds of people rallied in the McKinney jurisdiction, and to have Officer Case Bolt fired. So what ended up happening at the end of the day, he actually ended up resigning. So he just quit. So, and he should be, I'm gonna say I wouldn't see why I'm kind of glad that he did that, kind of removed himself out of the equation, just because, what he did, he knew he acted out of character. He knew he was wrong. In the meantime, before he had quit, we hadn't got he hasn't spoken publicly about it, and he wasn't available for a comment. So during that time, the police department was going to place him on administrative leave and investigate the situation. So during that time, he did resign. He did put his resignation in, and he's no longer part of the police station. So let me know. Call in 321-549-9449, 321-549-9449. 521, excuse me, 9499. So it's 321 Jazzy 99 is the number. Okay, call in, let me know, because I wasn't intending to speak about this, but I did want to bring this to awareness. Is this racial form of police brutality? Is this a fact of a racial profiling or anything like that? At this point, from what I've heard, that the state police is actually, I won't say state, the city police is definitely backing him up on this. So, they haven't said anything. They are actually backing him up because he didn't do anything, but they did say that his repercussions or how he acted wasn't called for the most part. But anyway, call in, let me know what you think. I'm here till 12 o'clock. All right. So, okay, moving forward. I want to start with part 2. So we had spoke about last week. There was another viral video that was floating around, which was about stacking and gang had thrown up gang signs. This disturbed me just because, for one, it's young teenagers throwing up signs, and it's cool. Like, I honestly wasn't aware. I thought that died down. The gang area had died down and in a way. But honestly, it's like 1.4 million gangbangers that are out there, or gang affiliated or whatnot. And I looked up some history, right? So here's the thing. I mentioned Tookie Williams the last show, and he actually was part of the original, Crips in LA, in West LA, that was started back in 1969, and he was incarcerated. He was incarcerated for 4 murders. Okay, 4 murders. He killed someone at a supermarket, not a supermarket, but a convenience store, like a Circle K or 7-Eleven. It was it was a drive-by shooting as well too. So in the midst of that time, while he was incarcerated, he did turn his life around. And he turned his life around because this is what he had said. When I say turning his life around, I'm not saying that he gave his life to God. I didn't read up on that. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that he did make his purpose known as to why he was even affiliated with the gang. When he had met the original founder of the Crips, he felt that his purpose of the gang initially was to eliminate all the street gangs and create a bull force neighborhood watch that started out, at least to his intent, was to address all the so-called neighborhood gangs in the area. That was his initial intent. However, in a sense, he wanted to cleanse the neighborhood, but what ended up happening was eventually the crew, or the Crips, were morphed into a monster that was that they were addressing. So that group of the Crips became more like the Bloods, quote unquote Bloods, that they were trying to drive out. Now, the founder, which is, his last name is Washington, he was from East LA, that actually was the founder of Crips. He has a whole different type of purpose of the Crips, right? His whole thing was that he states that he founded the Crips, his intention wasn't to eliminate other gangs, but to create a force powerful enough to protect the local blacks from racism, corruption, brutality of the hands of the police. You feel me? So that being said, I'm kind of glad that we're even talking about this, because with that being said, with this viral video going around with this police officer Casbolt, and then going in with this with the gang signs, throwing up gang signs and repping your set. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with repping your city or anything like that. But the whole thing is, it's got to rep for the cause. Like, for instance, like, just going off of what Tookie Williams had to say, the whole purpose of it was to protect the neighborhoods, or protect them against gangs or whatnot. Tookie had a different purpose, but the original founder was trying to collect from the police who was intimidating, the corruption and having police brutality against the locals in the area, or I wouldn't say pedestrians, but the people. The cops are supposed to protect and serve, and that wasn't happening. That wasn't what was happening back in 1969, and that's still not even happening today in 2015. So, I mean, this is just, I don't want to say it's at all, but it's definitely heart-wrenching when who's going to police the police? Who's going to protect us from when the police is doing us wrong? And I don't want to pull the race card, but it always boils down to it. It always seems that way, that it has to do with, the color of the skin. And that goes way back in the day, that black people look at black people or people with color who are superior or who are inferior. So I definitely do take this to heart, because when I saw it was some pretty girls that was throwing up gang signs, and it was some dudes that who was throwing up gang signs too. They know what they're talking about and everything. I looked up the hand gestures and things like that. I never partaked in it. Not sure if even my brothers did it. I really don't care at this particular point. But the whole thing is that it's like, why? Just stop it. You know what I'm saying? Because all it is just a vicious cycle of killings, and it's a vicious cycle of hate. It's a vicious cycle, of poverty. It's a vicious cycle of just a whole bunch of, drug induced neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you got to get your money. I understand that you may not have a mother, you may not have a father in your life, and you may not, and I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth when I was raised, but it was and I know other people, I was well off more than others, but I know for the ones who are stuck in this cycle, being in the hood, and especially the females, how they get jumped in, and some of them have to even get sleeping with a couple of fellas just to get in. You know what I'm saying? And then sleep with them when they try to get out, when they want to get out. And getting out is a whole different story. Getting out of the gang, there is no getting out. From what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've interviewed, and what I've read, it's hard to get out. Either you die or you stay in, or if you lay low long enough, you might be able to, get. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. You might be able to move out the state, but they'll probably find you because they don't want you to rat them out. But the whole thing is, at this point, would be, if you are in it, try your best way to get out of it. The best way to get out of it is either try to get you a job, find some stable income, slowly ease your way out of that clan, and distance yourself from them. And I know that's hard. I mean, I know that even like if I was in a relationship, I know I can't compare the two. It's completely different. But when you're trying to break a bond, or you got to wean yourself off of them. But if your internal instinct is telling you to, it's about time to wrap this up. It's not part of you. This is not working for you. Because I know those things are not. Being in a gang and that type of environment can be very. It can be, for some, depending on how your mind frame is set up, it can be very fun, or it can be very stressed, because you got to sit here and do what somebody's telling you to do, or you got to kill, you got to go out and carry a gun, you got to always look over your shoulder. I mean, is that the life you want to live? So yeah, definitely give me a call if you have. Definitely give me a call, 321-521-9415. 321-549-9499. All right. Definitely tune in. I'm going to go ahead and go to commercial break and give a commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to have a new topic and not an interview, but a caller who wants to talk about the gang related. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted myself. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to commercial. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right.
Welcome to I'mEliteRadio.com, the real home of urban music.
Does your business need exposure? Are you having a party? Is your single or record dropping soon? How will you get the word out? Let I'mEliteRadio.com be your source. Advertise on this station and have listeners from your state and the surrounding areas hear what's up. Pre-tape a 45-second MP3 formatted commercial detailing your event and submit it 2 weeks prior to your event date. A member of our staff will contact you with further details so your commercial can be played during a Friday airing of I'mEliteRadio.com. It's that simple. Please submit your commercials and contact information to I'mEliteRadio@gmail.com. That's IMELITE radio@gmail.com.
Welcome.